Economic recessions can be tough times for everyone. They can cause job losses, business closures, and financial insecurity. But did you know that there are ways to not only survive an economic recession, but also make huge profits? In this video, we'll be sharing some tips and strategies on how to not only weather the storm of an economic recession, but also come out on top. During the 2008 financial crisis, a man named John Paulson made billions of dollars by betting against the housing market. Paulson saw that the housing market was overheated and predicted that it would collapse. He bet against it by buying credit default swaps, which are insurance policies that pay out if a borrower defaults on their mortgage. When the housing market did collapse, Paulson made billions of dollars. This is an example of how someone can make a huge profit during an economic recession by being able to spot trends and make smart investments. The first tip for surviving an economic recession is to be prepared. This means having an emergency fund in place, reducing your debt, and diversifying your investments. When the economy is good, it's easy to get complacent and not think about what could happen in a recession. But being prepared can make all the difference when the economy takes a downturn. During the Great Depression, a man named J. Paul Getty saw an opportunity to invest in the oil industry. He used the money he had saved during the prosperous times to buy up oil wells and land at a fraction of their value. When the economy eventually recovered, Getty became one of the richest men in the world. This is a great example of how being prepared and having money saved up can allow you to make smart investments during an economic recession. The second tip is that during an economic recession, it's important to invest in quality rather than chasing after high and fast returns. This means investing in companies with strong fundamentals that are likely to survive the recession. Look for companies with a strong balance sheet, a low debt-to-equity ratio, and a history of paying dividends. These companies are more likely to survive a recession and come out stronger on the other side. During the dot-com crash of the early 2000s, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos made a bold move by continuing to invest in his company's growth despite the economic downturn. While other tech companies were going bankrupt, Amazon invested heavily in its infrastructure and expanded its product offerings. This strategy paid off as Amazon emerged from the recession as one of the strongest companies in the tech industry. Tip 3 is that during an economic recession, there are often opportunities to invest in undervalued assets or companies. This could mean investing in real estate, stocks, or even starting your own business. By being able to spot these opportunities and make smart investments, you can not only survive the recession, but also make huge profits. During the 2008 financial crisis, a man named Chris Sacca saw an opportunity to invest in Twitter. While others were wary of investing in a social media platform during a recession, Sacca believed that Twitter had the potential to change the way we communicate. He invested heavily in the company and eventually made a huge profit when Twitter went public. This is another great example of being able to spot opportunities and make smart investments that can pay off after the recession ends. Finally, it's important to think long-term during an economic recession. While it may be tempting to sell off all your investments and wait out the recession, this may not be the best strategy. Instead, consider holding onto your investments and even adding to them if you can. Remember that the economy will eventually recover, and the investments you make now could pay off in the long run. During the 1970s, legendary investor Warren Buffett invested heavily in stocks and other assets during a time of high inflation and economic uncertainty. While others were selling off their investments in fear, Buffett continued to hold on to his, knowing that the economy would eventually recover. This strategy paid off as Buffett became one of the richest men in the world through his long-term investments. While economic recessions can be tough times, there are ways to not only survive them, but also make huge profits. By being prepared, investing in quality, looking for opportunities, and thinking long-term, you can weather the storm of a recession and ultimately come out on top. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.